Hello, I believe we are live. Just give me a moment and I'm just checking everything is working fine, and I'll be with you. And just to make sure everything is working fine, and we shall get started in the next few moments. Okay, that's all good. Everything seems to be working as it should. Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Ozair, and a very warm welcome to you. Today is the 10th of July, 5 o'clock UK time, and during every weekday I hold these sessions to go through Google Ads, workflows, training, tutorials, and also answer any questions you may have about pretty much anything online, digital marketing, about business or Google Ads. So if you have been here before, you know the drill and the format. But if you are new for the first time, there's a question box on the right hand side of your video, and you can put any questions in there and I'll answer them for you during this session. So today I'm not going to go through any tutorials, but I had quite a few questions which were sent across via email, Facebook, WhatsApp, and also on YouTube. So we're going to jump onto those and answer these for you. And also I'll keep an eye on the comment box, and I can see Abid from India. Hello Abid, thanks for sending in these questions. I'll come on to your questions as well in a bit. Okay, so the first question is, what's the best way to put tracking codes on my website, and which ones should I put? That's a really good question, and I'm glad that you are thinking about tracking everything, because if you don't track, you cannot measure. The first part of your question, what's the best way to put in? Now, I know the easiest and the best way is to, if you are using a WordPress website or Shopify or Magento, you put in the Google Analytics tags or any conversion tracking tags within your website, which is fine. It's not a problem. The problem is when you have too many tags and you have an update on your website and something breaks or some plugins get disabled, then it is a tedious job to keep track of which ones are working and which ones aren't working. So the best way to put in all your tags is through Google Tag Manager. And as the name suggests, it is a manager for all your tags. It is completely free of charge to use. You download or sign up to your free account, and you put all the tags in there, and all you do is you take the Google Tag Manager tag and install it on your website only once. So even if you have an update on your website, you have a new website, or something changes on your site, it really doesn't matter. As long as that Tag Manager tag is on your website, everything in Google Tag Manager will work. And that is the best way to keep track of all your tags and set them up. Which tags you want to put up depends on how many channels you are running your ads on, or what you want to track. But the first one and the obvious one, obviously, is the Google Tag, not the Google Tag Manager, Google Analytics. So that you need to put in there first. So what you do is you don't put your analytics tag directly on your website. You are running all these tags through Google Tag Manager. Then you have your various Google Ads, conversion tracking, which includes calls, and if you have got a form submit or any other kind of tags which you have set up in Google Ads, again you run it through your tag manager. Then you've got your Facebook pixel. If you have tags for Twitter, LinkedIn, what else? I will also started running ads on Quora. So every platform where you want to run ads pretty much will have its own tags, Pinterest and so on. So you can put up as many tags as you like or as few. But the basic one obviously is the Google Analytics and the Google Ads conversion. And the tag manager, oops, what have I pressed? The tag manager is the best way to control all your tags. Okay. Next question. How much CPC should I bid for Gmail ad? How much should I set the default CPC in an ad group for e-commerce website? So it really doesn't matter whether you are running a Gmail ad campaign or Gmail sponsored promotions, as they are called, the GSP, whether it's for e-com or lead generation or just for driving traffic to your website, the bids will be the same. So that doesn't change. Gmail ads, in my opinion, are one of the best ads which very few people use to their advantage to drive traffic or conversions on their website. Very few people are using Gmail ads, so the CPCs are pretty low. You can get a click from as little as 10p or 10 cents, which is in the UK and US. I don't know much about other currencies, but it will be equivalent to that. So it's nowhere near or anywhere near the Google display or the search campaign cost per clicks. They're extremely cheap, and the quality of traffic is very good as well, because what's happening is you can target your audience, you can target your keywords, you can target by demographic, and all these various targeting options which are available for Gmail. And this is what I love about Google Ads, is all the targeting options are available for all the different types of ads. So you've got your search ads, display ads, video ads, Gmail ads. So if you find that you've got certain audiences or targeting which is working really well for video or display, you can try using the same audience for Gmail, because it's that same audience, just a different place where your ads are being shown. So I would highly recommend you give it a budget, $5 to $10 a day, test it out and see how it goes. Okay. So should you create device specific PPC campaigns? I would say yes. The reason being, the mobile is going to eat up or take up most of the budget for any campaign you run, because the mobile devices have the most traffic nowadays, and we see across all the campaigns that mobile will get the most clicks. Now, whether the mobile clicks are converting or performing or not, that's a different matter, because in some industries or niches, the mobile works really well, but in some it really doesn't work very well. So for example, locksmith or plumber, or anywhere, somebody who is in an emergency, let's say your car has broken down and you need recovery people to come and help you. So you will be on your mobile device. You want to talk to somebody, not fill in a form and then wait for somebody from that company to call you back. You need instant help, and mobiles perform really well for those niches. As for it's so good in some of these niches that we don't even run campaigns on the desktop, because we know we're not going to get any conversions, and we allocate all the budget to the mobile campaigns. And what you also want to do is, when you see and find that the mobile devices campaign is performing really well, then you also set up call ads as well. So try call ads as well as the text ads, which are the normal extended text ads, and the responsive search ads, or the dynamic search ads as well. See which ones perform well. But then separating the campaigns out by devices will then enable you to allocate certain budgets to the best performing campaign. So I would recommend that you try it and separate them out. Although obviously there is more work, you are 3xing your work, but your results will you will find that you can get some very granular data for each one of these campaigns, and then shift budgets from the better performing to the better performing campaigns. Okay, if you are watching this live and you want to ask any questions, then now's your chance to put them in the comment box on the right hand side, and I'll come to them in a bit. Okay, so what are the pros and cons of smart bidding? This is where I see a lot of advertisers, business owners, and professionals get confused, as well as make things very complicated, and they don't keep things very simple. So you've got all the smart bidding, which is in Google Ads, but what you want to do is to feed that right data first to the algorithm or to the machine to give you the right to give you the best performance. Now, if I give you an analogy of let's say Google Maps, when we are driving from A to B in our car, and we put in the postcode or the zip code, is going to that map is going to take us exactly to that same destination, in fact right to the door, right? But if I just give a vague address, a street name, or the name of the town or the city, Google will still take us to that place, but it's not going to take us to our destination, because we did not enter the right zip code or the address in Google Maps. So it's not Google's fault that we did not end up in the right place. So what you want to do is to run the campaigns in manual CPC first, have at least 15, 20, 30 conversions in a month, and then switch it over to a manual, or beg your pardon, to smart bidding, whether it is TCPA or T ROAS. You don't want to go on to maximize clicks, because you're already getting conversions and clicks. Maximize conversions you should run when you are struggling to get traffic to your to your landing page or to your website, so you can let Google go after the clicks first and see how the conversions are happening or not happening when you do get those visitors to your site. Once it starts to run, it runs pretty well. That is the benefit of running smart bidding. It will take a huge amount of work off your shoulders with regards to biddings and keywords. And as long as you've got the right target CPA or the ROAS and sufficient budget, it will keep on bringing you the conversions. This is what I find. Sometimes it may not perform, it may go up and down, but if the overall tendency is to head in the right direction, then I'm okay with that. There will be some bad days and there will be a lot of good days as well. So you got to run manual first of all, and then you switch over to Smart Campaign, and you'll find that it works really well. The cons: you don't have much control over it. You don't know what's happening with the bids, where Google is going out there and finding those conversions from. But as far as I'm concerned, I really don't care, because if it is working, it's made my life a lot easier, and all I care is the conversions in my campaigns. Okay. What are the biggest mistakes people make on their PPC accounts? Well, there are loads and loads. It's a very generic question, so some of the biggest ones I've just pointed out over here is you're not using negative list or keywords, haven't set up the conversion tracking properly. Now, when you are in relation to the last question with regards to smart bidding, you've got to set up conversion tracking, otherwise it will not work, because those smart campaigns run on conversion tracking. You've got to make sure you got your call conversions, your form submits, or any other kind of conversion which you are tracking is set up properly. So that's absolutely a big no-no, that you haven't got the conversion tracking set up. And the other thing also, these conversion tracking do break up every now and then on the website. They stop working because somebody has made some changes on the website and the tag has been deleted or disabled. And this is why when I talked about Google Tag Manager, it will tell us, well, it won't tell us straight away, but when we go into Google Tag Manager, we can see that yes, it is working fine over here, but the Tag Manager tag has been taken off the website. If that is the case, then all the tags will go away. So analytics, Google Ads, Facebook, Twitter, then you know straight away that you have a problem. And another mistake which a lot of business owners make is not scaling the campaign when the campaigns are being profitable and performing. So unless you have a limited capacity, then I can understand. But if you have capacity and you can get more or service more leads, and Google can give you more leads, then why do you stop? Because if you're getting a positive return on ad spend, so you're giving £1 to Google and Google is giving back four back, and after spending £50 or £100 a day, you're telling Google, well, no thanks, I don't want any more money. If that is the case, then that's completely a different matter. But why wouldn't you want more? Because the potential is huge. So much traffic on Google is unbelievable. So scaling is something where, because advertisers don't understand properly what the ROI and the ROAS means. What they are thinking is, oh, we are increasing our cost, we are increasing our budget, and we're spending more money. But they don't look at the other side of the coin, which is that they are going to make more money from it. So as long as your campaigns are positive, you shouldn't be limited by budget. You should give as much to Google as you can, because the more you're going to give, the more you're going to get. How much should I spend on my branding? Oh God, that is a very interesting question. branding is not is something which you can only do for a few days or for a few weeks. Sometimes it takes years for a brand to be built. Branding is all about building that trust. So you can do two things. You can either spend the time or you spend the money. So when I say when you spend the time, this is my time I'm spending every day with you guys, or every weekday with you guys. Plus I also upload other videos as well, which are not on the live stream, but that is what we are doing, is spending time creating those that content, putting it up on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and all that. So we want to put our message, our brand in as many places as possible, so that people start to trust us. The other thing is obviously ads, and ads will accelerate your branding because you can reach to your target audience more quickly compared to trying to get organic traffic. So there is no number I can give you, unfortunately. Okay, I'm gonna go to the chat box because I can see a few of you have put up some questions. Okay, hi Abed, thanks for sending in this question. So you're from India. Okay, I set my Gmail campaign for coming occasion, Raksha Bandhan. Okay, and added keywords based on Rakhi gifts. But in audiences section, there is no estimates, weekly impressions that are showing. If possible, please briefly explain the audience section of Rakhi gift category. All right, so you got two things over here. And I think you're confusing the audiences with the keywords. So you will see in Google Ads, those are different tabs. So you can either use one or the other. But if you try to use both of them, you are reducing your targeting considerably. So what I would say to you is you can use these two separately in separate ad groups. So Google has got lots of audiences in Google Ads. So you've got affinity, which is long term. You've got in market, which is like in the last 15 days or so, somebody has searched for that keyword. Then you have got custom intent, custom affinity, you've got remarketing, and all of these kind of different a topic audience as well. So those are all the different categories which they are. So what you can do is allocate or put up one audience per ad group and run it. So each ad group will have its own audience, and see which one is converting and which one isn't. Keywords is completely separate to the audiences. So that's why I think you're getting a bit confused with regards to these two. So those of you who don't know what this occasion is all about, so this is where I believe, if I'm not wrong, is sister thanking her brother for protecting her, and also it's a occasion for the sisters and brothers where they celebrate that relationship. That I hope I've said it the right way. So then obviously gifts are also exchanged on that occasion. So it's quite, I believe in the Hindu religion, it's one of the biggest occasions of the year. So yes, it is a big market, and you should start advertising as soon as possible when it is coming through. So keep the audiences and the keywords separate. Adam, hi Adam. When you switch to target CPA, the default bid can be quite high. Should you leave it as it is? If it defaults, say, to $150, could you be charged up to $150 for the click? I wouldn't say $150 for the click, but what you would need is, if your target CPA is $150, then you need at least 4 to 5 times budget of that amount. So if I was you, I would be running that campaign at about $600, and it will give Google enough leeway to bring those conversions in and see how it goes. Because if you are just budgeting 150 a day, that means every time Google gets a click, that should convert, and 100% conversion you will never see unless it is a fraudulent click or something spammy coming through to your website. So you won't see. I've never seen, it's a very interesting question. I've never seen the CPC to be the same as the target CPA. Can't think of any. I'll have a look in my account and I'll let you know. Remind me on Monday if you're around, or next time when you're on the lives. I'll have a look. I can't remember, but yeah, you need enough CPA for that, and for these high value. And also you should not be scared to tell the customer, because they know the value of a lead, because they will be making thousands out of it. If the cost per if they're willing to pay $150 a lead, then the lifetime value of a customer will be very high as well. So you need to let your client know that we need this much daily budget for Google to go out and get us those conversions. Okay, Novels 76. Hello. I have a search campaign running, but my daily impressions are super low. Is there a way I can increase them? With my keywords, I should be getting a lot more than what I'm seeing. Yeah, the first thing I would look at is your bids probably too low. You are losing out in the auction. So raise the bids up and see what happens. If that doesn't work, then copy that campaign and switch over the second campaign to maximize clicks and try and get some impressions from there as well. So you're running a couple of campaigns at the same time, but raising the bids should do the trick. Or maybe you have put in some negative keywords which are blocking the impressions, so have a look in there as well. And how you have set up your keywords. If you are running exact match keywords, then and it's for a local search campaign, probably will restrict a lot. So you need to loosen up the targeting a bit, perhaps go to phrase match or broad modified, and then try running that as well. Okay, hi Abby Dougal. Any in-market campaign videos you have done which I can follow, or any of your courses? There are, I believe in this playlist, there are quite a few videos where we have covered audience targeting in great details and depth. So have a look. I'll also try and put a link in the descriptions afterwards. I'll get one of my guys to do it for you. Okay. Adam, do you need a certain amount of website traffic to trigger remarketing ads? Yes. So on search ads, so you need to run the RLSA, remarketing list for search ads. You need 1,000 as a minimum. For display, you need 100, but ideally you need a lot more to be able to run it. I found that when you've got very little traffic, you hardly get any impressions on the display if you've got less than a couple of thousand. So try and increase the traffic, and this is what you should do. And you've been on my other live streams before as to how to increase it by using discovery ads, Gmail ads. See which one is the most engaged audience. So you got to set up your micro conversions and then go after those and start building up your remarketing list that way, if budget is a problem and you are limited by budget. Okay, hi Anton. You have a question for CPA bidding. Do I pay Google every time someone is converting, or is it still you pay for each click like usual? No, not at all. You pay, so the target CPA is, you don't have any control over the bids. You can't bid. It will be disabled in your account, and all you will find is, let's say, as Adam had put in the question before, that the target CPA is 150. You may find that Google is getting the conversions, but at a higher target CPA, and quite often it will also get you conversions at a lower target CPA. If it is higher, don't cut it off too early or too soon. Let it run. And you know, when the conversion numbers are very low or in single figures, a couple of conversions here or there will absolutely change the target CPA equation. So what I would do is let it run for a little while and see what happens, and if it's still not working, then you need to look into the campaign and see what can be done to tweak it. Okay, WSI Priority Media. Hi Richard. I heard that remarketing will be suffering because Apple announced it's restricting tracking on iPhones. Are you aware of or how that may impact remarketing? Yes, Apple has done it on Safari as well. So let's see where this heads off, but I'm sure there will be a workaround or a way around for all these companies to remarket, because everybody is doing remarketing, and it's too early to say or give a definite answer as to what's going to happen. But yeah, it's something to keep an eye on for all our campaigns. Okay, Abby, best strategy you recommend under PPC for call generation for a travel holiday campaign? Do you mean best campaign or strategy? I'm not too sure as to what you're asking. For me, the best strategy is the one which works the best and converts the most at the best price, really. For travel and holiday, I would absolutely run video ads, show the location or the venue or the hotel or the cottage or whatever you are promoting. Video testimonials of your existing clients at that location or the holiday venue would be really good. Build up that trust, because holiday and travel is something where it's not an impulse buy. Quite often people will search for months, if not for quite a long time, especially in the UK and also in US and Europe as well. I know, people are now looking to book for 2021, because I don't think anything is going to happen this year with all this lockdown going on. So what you need to do is to keep that brand in front of those people and build up those touch points, so that as soon as they're ready to buy, the first name which comes in their mind is your brand. And with video and display ads, they're so economical and cost affordable that you can allocate a small amount of budget and let it run. Okay, I believe I've gone through all the comments, so thank you very much everyone for putting in these really interesting questions, and I hope I answered them for you and you got what you were looking for. So that's it for today. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you back on Monday afternoon at 5 o'clock. Till then, stay safe and God bless.